Hello and welcome back to another chill chatting video with myself, Gingerbexxi. So, yeah, I kind of missed a month, and for good reason. So, September, October has been mental, but mental in a totally different way. Like, I have been so sick this year. This year has just been sickness after like, as soon as I got better from my sickness, I got injured, and it's just been that over and over and over and over again this month. So it's extremely difficult to get some stuff done sometimes when I am not feeling very well. And honestly, it's quite shit on the brain as well when you're not well quite often, and you can't do a lot of stuff. You're always tired. It's not great. And I'm working with my doctors to try and find out exactly why all this is happening. But yeah, I just constantly been sick this year, or injured. I've fallen over my ankle I don't know how many times. But on top of that, I've also been having a lot of difficulties with my computer. My computer, for some reason, the recording software and the editing software glitches and goes really, really bad quite often. I also had some difficulties with my microphone for a while, trying to figure that out, because this was a new microphone and I wasn't entirely sure like what the settings I should use, and I lost a ton of footage because of that. So yeah, it's been a bit difficult to do some recordings, and what I would say is going live and streaming a game can be much, or streaming like art as well, because there's that distraction there. It's a lot easier sometimes, I feel. It's quite exhausting like sitting there for that long, but in general, it's pretty good because you have something to play off of. You know, if you're drawing, you can commentate a little bit, or you can tell like stories. If you're playing games, you're involved in the game, you say what's going on, what your plans are, and all that sort of stuff. But with this, like, just chatting, if I'm not in a good mood, say I've been sick all day or something, it becomes really difficult to sit down and, you know, smile and record something that's good to record. Because if you're not well, it's the last thing that you want to do is, you know, try and put on a face for people. And I always feel that if I'm not going to be able to put out a good video, then it's better to put a different video out than force a chatting video. So yeah, September was like that. I had a pretty bad September with a bunch of stuff that was going on, a bunch of tech issues, a bunch of health issues. But I'm here now in October, and I actually have a little bit more to talk about as well. This month has been pretty good actually. For things done anyway, I have been playing a couple of fucking awesome games. First of all, I've been playing games that have been really interesting. Fear and Hunger has taken over my brain at the moment. For the last couple of weeks, it is all I could think about. Is Fear and Hunger, and what, like, the endings that I can get, and how do I get that ending, and well, if I go and do this with this boss, then I can't do this because that's too risky, then I'll have to go back and do that. And that has just filled up my brain so much. I'm actually recording this video after hitting end stream from a Fear and Hunger video, a Fear and Hunger stream, because it's so goddamn good and I love it, and I just want to get all the endings. I want to find out so much more about the game, and there's been so many amazing people like in the chat talking about who are quite clearly like super into the game and just they know so much about it, and it's amazing to hear. I'm a very much like, I don't like to have spoilers of story things, but if someone's quite happy to sit and say, oh, you're going up against this big boss, I would recommend equipping this thing. And if I say, oh well, how do I get that, and they say, they give kind of hints of where it can be, I like that, and the people that have been in my chat recently have been very helpful in that way, and because this game is really convoluted. There's not a lot of direction in this game. I mean, through like books that you can get, it gives lore, it gives direction and things, but these books are a 50-50 chance of whether or not you get them, and it is like pure luck if you like, because you can like click on a bookcase and it'll give you a random book, or you can click on a bookcase and it'll give you a coin flip and it'll give you a random good book if you get the coin flip. So I mean, I had like 4 of the same book that was pretty much worthless, in that it didn't really add that much lore, it didn't add any like skills or abilities or anything like that. But I had 4 of them because it was just random luck. There is also a way you can get like lucky coins, and if you press shift on your keyboard and flip the coin, it flips 2 coins, And the amount of times that, because I just hit heads because it's just easier, instead of having to like scroll down and hit, you know, tails, I always just, you know, hit heads. But the amount of times that I've had like double tails, and it's like, what the fuck? It is such a good game, and see, try to like get someone else to want to play that game, it's impossible, because people don't want to play a game that's that punishing. You can't save this game without a coin flip. Well, there is there's one place where it's like one free save, and then there's another place where it's like endless saves, but it's like much later in the game. But if you want to save anywhere else in that game, then it's a coin flip. And it is just insane it's just such an unforgiving game, but it's so rewarding. Like, I've now got 2 of the endings, and I'm working on one which I'm very close to. There's not that much that I need to do. In fact, I'm fighting a boss that I don't have to fight just because I want to fight him, because he's cool. He looks like the Colossal Titan, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, it's like, you know, that type of thing. It's like stuff that you don't have to do, but I really want to because it's cool. But try to sell this game to people and be like, yeah, it's really unforgiving and you die all the time and it sucks because, you know, you randomly step on a rusty nail and it kills you. But do you know what? It's a great game. And people are like, what? Why would I want to do that? It is very good though. I love it so much. And I just want to play more of it. However, I also have this horrible obsession at the moment with League of Legends. Which, by the way, my video that went up, which will be 2 weeks ago today, did like so well compared to the other videos. League of Legends is apparently popular. As of the video coming out, it should be next Friday that my speed drawing of Miss Fortune comes up. So fingers crossed that that's actually going to go. It might be the week after because next week is going to be Halloween, so it might be the week after, I'm not entirely sure. My mind has been focused a lot on Fear and Hunger this last like couple of weeks, but something else that has really, and I mean like really taken all the focus in my brain, Japan. For many years, I've spoke about it on my channel so often, I've spoke about it on streams so often. When I was like a young child, my dad went to Japan. I think it was like Motorola I worked for or something, and they flew him out there. He went there and he came back with he came back with a kimono, he came back with chopsticks, he came back with all these stories about Japan that was just like, to my child mind, it was like the most amazing thing I'd ever heard in my entire life. And ever since then, I have been so into Japanese culture. Like, anytime anything comes up about Japan, if it's in a movie, I love it. If it's in a book, I love it. If it's like, if you see it on a TV show, I love it. Like streams, like, I really like watching Rob CD. I've been watching Abroad in Japan for, anyway, like, it's just something that has been like on my mind. One day I will definitely go. And then like when I grew up, like in the last like 8 years, I threw myself into anime, and it was the whole reason that I even started drawing was because of anime. So it's just something that has just really taken over like my life for a long time, is my determination to go to Japan at some point. However, it is an expensive trip from the UK. The flights out are so expensive. The accommodation is not all that expensive, but going for 2 weeks, you're looking at least like $1,000. I mean, it depends on where, if you want to stay in a hotel, and I'm kind of wanting to stay, my first time I want to stay in the one hotel for the 2 weeks and, you know, visit around the areas and stuff. At that, you're about $1,000 for accommodation. You can get it for cheaper. All in all, you're looking at like minimum $3,000, which in the grand scheme of things doesn't sound like that much money, but when you're like, I live alone, I have my rent, my car and everything to pay for, so it's a lot of money for me anyway. Always just put it off and put it off and put it off, as I can't afford to go. And now I'm sitting thinking I might be able to afford to go, possibly, and in December this year I will be booking to go to Japan. And I'm going solo, which is scary. It's always scary travelling solo to a foreign country, but travelling somewhere where they don't speak your language, mostly, and in Tokyo it's probably going to be okay, like I'll be able to like get by and things, and I've been trying to learn some Japanese as well to be able, I want to have conversations with people whilst I'm there. I want to just like, if I go to an izakaya or something and someone asks me a question, I want to be able to answer them, even if it is, you know, generic, like silly questions, like what game do you play? And I can answer them. So like, it is scary, but I'm very excited for it. It's going to be next year, and it's going to be late next year. However, it's going to be very exciting. I don't know if everyone is like this. I know for a fact that not everyone's like this actually, because I know of people who don't even start like planning stuff till like the day before, and they pack on the day and things, and I'm like, what the fuck? If I'm going on a holiday and I know, like, for example, when I went away to America, I booked that in like the June the next year. And the second that I booked that, I was thinking about, okay, so my flight's at this time, so the flight was at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, well, what I'll do is, I'll get up and I'll do this and I'll do that and I'll do the next thing, and then when I actually, because the flight was it was 7 a.m. on the Monday morning. Oh no, it was a Sunday morning. And I was like, okay, so the Saturday night, I'll stay up all night or as late as I can, and I'll get up like super early and I'll go for a nap at this time so that I can wake up at like 1 in the morning, so that I go down to, my flight's at 7, so me and my sister, who was taking me to the airport, can go to the airport at like 4 a.m. and then I'm ready to go. Do you know, my plans were down to, I've looked at the menus of the restaurants in the airport so that I know what I'm eating before I get on the flight. And that is how much I go into planning, and I already have a plan about like how much I'm going to sleep. My flights are probably going to be on the Saturday, because just with the time difference, if I fly out on the Saturday morning, I'll get there on the Sunday. At that time of year, it's going to be a 9-hour time difference. And I'm like, okay, so do I take the Friday off work, or do I work the Friday, save a holiday? And like that gives me I get up on the, maybe I'll stay awake all night on the Thursday. I'll go to my bed at like, I don't know, 1-2 o'clock in the afternoon on the Friday and go for a big long like sleep, so that by the time that I'll wake up, because 1-2 o'clock, that's like night time for Japan, and then by that, so I'll be able to sleep on the plane, because the plane takes off at 9 a.m. here, and then this is the flights I'm looking at, and then dinner will be served, or breakfast will be served, and then I can go for a sleep at like 1-2 o'clock and try and sleep all the way to Tokyo, so that by the time I get there, I'll be getting there at like 10 a.m. I think it's 10 a.m, 9 a.m, whatever it is, a.m. anyway, and then I can spend the entire day awake because I've slept all day on the plane. Yeah. That's how much I think about a big holiday that I'm excited for. And I'm very excited for this one. As I said, I've been thinking about Japan for, I don't even know how, years. Like, years and years and years. Over 20 years I've been thinking about Japan. And I can't believe that we're finally going. And it's motivated me for like so much more. It has motivated me for saving money, of course, because I need to do that. It's motivated me for getting fit as well, because there's a bunch of things that I want to do whilst I'm there. There's a couple of really, really amazing looking like national parks with amazing looking walks that I would love to go on. There's also the Shimanami Kaido, which is a cycle route that I would love to do. It's a wee bit far away, but I'm thinking about hiring a car for like 4 days, because there's a lot of places I would like to go that are like not on the train lines and things. So if I can hire a car, I can get down there and do the cycle and stuff. So I want to be able to be a much more fit than I am, because I'm really not fit, because my lungs are knackered after having COVID, and they're all scarred and things because of that. So I would quite like to get my stamina back up, so that I can actually do these things, but also just that I'm going to be up and about all day, hopefully. I mean, that's the plan anyway. The best thing about actually going anywhere by yourself is that you can suit yourself. So if I wake up and I go and do something, like for example, when I was in Texas, I went to the zoo one day and I fed a giraffe. It was amazing. But I went to the zoo, so it was up like super early in the morning, went to the zoo, did the whole zoo thing, and then I was finished by it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was getting really hot as well. Texas, I mean, it was like 38 degrees or something Celsius. But by that time, I had been up for so long. I was so exhausted. It was so hot. All I wanted to do was just like go for a wee lie down. And like there was a swimming pool as well where I was staying. So I said, do you know what I'm going to do? I went back to my hotel. I went in the pool for a wee while and cooled down, and then I got out the pool and I went into my hotel room and I napped for like 2 hours. And when I woke up, I had my dinner and I was just thinking, I'm exhausted. And I just didn't want to do anything that day. And if you're with someone, because I had planned to go out for dinner and like go somewhere, go out for dinner, have a couple of like drinks with my meal, and then I was thinking about maybe going to the cinema after it as well. But after, like, when I woke up from the nap and I was just like, I'm too tired for this. Like, I was absolutely fucking exhausted after being out all day. And I thought, do you know what? I'm not going to bother. I've had a good day. I have. When I got there, because I was extremely poor at this time when I went to Texas. When I got there, I went to Walmart and I got like a bunch of like cup noodles and all that sort of stuff, and like a big packet of like Oreos, and I got some juice because I had vodka with me, and you know, I had bought like a little shop of stuff. So that night I just thought I'll have some cup noodles. And then I had a couple of little vodkas, and I was watching anime. What was I watching? Full Metal Alchemist I was watching. I watched that, and I had my couple of vodkas, I had my dinner, I had some Oreos, and I just had a nice night in doing nothing. But I was by myself. When you're with someone, even if, you know, you tell them, listen, I'm really exhausted, they'll probably say, you know what, it's absolutely fine, I'll either go by myself or I'll stay in. But you can tell that, you know, they're disappointed because they had these plans and you've now cancelled them. So it's just like, it's easier by yourself to be able to just suit yourself. So if I do go out, say I do go and do the Shimanami Kaido, if I go and do that, and afterwards I'm absolutely fucking exhausted, I'll grab a McDonald's and go home. Like, well, go back to the hotel. But I can do that because I'd be by myself. Whereas if I was with someone, I'd probably be more tempted to, well, more obliged to go and do something with them afterwards. So yeah, I do like going solo for these sorts of things. I've been away solo a couple of times, and you know what? It's fun. It is fun. There is a couple of times where you think, because like, for example, in America, I wouldn't go out to bars by myself. Because why would I? There's not a lot of things that, I mean, I would say in America, people were like really, really, really cool. You could just talk to anybody and they would just have a conversation with you. And it was always really, really like good conversations. People would stop me because they saw my red hair and they wanted to talk to me about my red hair. People would hear me talk to a bus driver or like a cashier or something, and they would want to talk to me about Scotland. Like a couple of days, because obviously it was so hot, I was trying to like keep covered up because I'm red, like I'm like as white can be. But there was a couple of days where it was a bit cooler, and I had like a strappy type of vest top on, and my tattoo. If you don't know, I have the Wings of Freedom from Attack on Titan tattooed on my back. So there was a couple of days where I had that out and people would just stop me to ask me about anime, talk to me about Attack on Titan, ask me about what manga I read and what shows I'm watching and, you know, that sort of stuff. People would always just talk to you. However, when you're travelling alone, you have to be really, really, really careful about inebriation. It's definitely one of the things that if I'm by myself, I will have maximum 2 drinks. But in America, there's something that I didn't do. I had like out and about, I had 1 pint of beer at the stockyards in Fort Worth where the like cow sales auctions were. I had 1 pint there. I think that was, oh no, I had a drink when I went to the cinema, well, to the movies, because they sell alcohol, like slushy cocktails in the movies. I'm like, but yeah, this it was a frozen strawberry daiquiri and a pizza, and like it was all like $5 or something total. You don't get that in the UK. So yeah, you just have to be really careful when you're drinking solo abroad. So it's something that I do miss out on when I'm away solo, because you do have to just be a little bit more careful. It's fine if you're like in the airport, have a couple of drinks or whatever, but if you're out and about, you're at a bar or something, you really have to restrict what you're drinking with your solo. However, I am very excited for going. I think because of how much I've spoke about it already at the moment, you can probably tell how excited I am. But there's so many places I want to visit in Japan, and just in Japan. I mean, there's obviously other places in the world that I would like to visit, but they definitely don't overtake my absolute like desperation for visiting Japan. So I plan on being in Japan a couple of times. Obviously I'll see how I like my first trip, because I might get there and absolutely hate it. It's definitely something that could happen. I kind of doubt it, but it could happen. So my plan is, if I like it, I'll have my first 2 weeks in Tokyo, and I'll visit all the areas that are around about Tokyo. I am going to hire a car for a few days. This is very cheap. For like 4 days it was like 130 quid, which is really reasonable. So hire a car for a few days, go to some areas that I'll not be able to get to by like train and stuff. And I think the next time I go, I'll probably go like further north and maybe base myself in maybe Sendai, or maybe a bit further up from Sendai. And from wherever I base myself, I can go up to Hokkaido, I can go down to like Sapporo, not Sapporo, like Fukushima, because I would quite like to visit there. Obviously, yes, also going to Sapporo. Maybe actually just stay in Hokkaido and then go, you know. But anyway, I want to do a little bit of the kind of central, like Tokyo around about. I want to do Sendai, like Hokkaido and all those areas up there. Go further south as well. Maybe Hiroshima, go to Kyushu. So there is a few different times that I want to go. I think I could spend an entire like 2 weeks just in Kyushu, because it looks like there's so much to actually do as long as you have a car. If you don't have a car, it kind of looks like it would be a bit lame, because the buses and trains aren't amazing. I mean, I would say they're all better than the UK. But in Kyushu, it kind of looks like they're a little bit more less available for the really, really cool places. So yeah, that is one of the things that has been like occupying my mind to no end. It's just been, oh, I want to go so bad. But yeah, I have plans in my head for next year. Just a couple of plans. I was actually like, when I had made my decision that I was like next year, I'm definitely going this year. I'm not putting it off any longer. I'm booking my flights on Christmas Day. Well, everyone gets their Christmas money, and I've just said to all my family, I don't want any presents. Whatever you were going to spend on me in presents, just transfer it to me on Christmas Day, and I will book my flights with that. And having made that decision, I'm so happy. But when I made that decision, I was also thinking, like, what am I going to do? Like, in Japan, like, what the hell am I going to do? Like, there's been so many, like, there's so many things that I've seen over the years that I'll be like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that. And obviously, like, I'm going to go visit, like, the Tokyo Tower. I'm going to go and I'm going to, well, get as close as I can to Fuji anyway. I want to go to Akihabara. I want to, you know, there's so many places that I know that I will visit, but I don't know the best, like, times and, like, how long does things take in a day? Like, if I go to, like, Akihabara, how long of a day out is that going to be? I don't know. What will I do after? And there's actually a place to, like, swim with dolphins as well, and I'm like, ooh. So there's so much things that I want to do, but I need to have, like, a plan in my head of, I know that this is going to take this long, because obviously I want to make the most out of my time that's there. If I know that Akihabara is going to take, you know, probably going to be most of a day thing, so I'm going to be there for like 5 or 6 hours in that general area. Well, what about after that? Because if I'm going to go there for like maybe 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, that's not all day and evening. But also it's like, the day that I land in the morning. I'm going to have my suitcase with me. You can drop them off, there's like luggage places you can drop suitcases with, because the check-in's not going to be till late. Later, it's like normally like about 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm going to have my suitcase, or I need to drop it off. I'm going to be tired from travelling all day, because it's like 21 hours travelling. So, well, what do I do in that day? Because I'm pretty much going to be doing something up until I can go and check in. And then I'll go and check in, and then I'll probably go for my dinner. And then I'll go back to the hotel and have a shower. But I need something to do for that first like 6 hours. Maybe just get my bearings. Go see like a couple of the big tourist attractions in the centre of Tokyo, because I'm going to be too tired to do anything else. But anyway, that is what's been going on in my head. The other thing that happened this last month and a bit has been that I went to Comic-Con. I love Comic-Con. Comic-Con is amazing, and unfortunately I hadn't made my decision to go to Japan by the time I went to Comic-Con, so I spent a lot of money at Comic-Con. Why is Comic-Con so expensive? I can tell you that myself, honestly. But like, going to Comic-Con, it's like all these really, really dorky, nerdy things that I love that aren't sold anywhere else for a reasonable price. And when I say reasonable price, I mean like, you can go and get like this necklace, right? It's not exactly dorky, this necklace is more just like gothy. It's a silver bat, right? And buying this online, you're looking at like 20 odd quid for like a little silver bat. It was £7. My bracelet as well, it's a chest bracelet, and it's very nice. It's got all the little pieces. It's got like little bronze pieces for the dark ones. It's got the silver for the light ones. It's the king. Oh, it's just so pretty. I love it so much. But it costs like, I think it was like £12 or something. Whereas like buying this online, you're looking at least 30. Like with shipping and everything, and it's so expensive. But when you go to Comic-Con, you're like, oh, that's cheap. Oh, that's cheap. And you just buy everything. You buy everything. And I bought everything. I spent a lot of money. I got this little Flareon as well. So Flareon's my absolute favourite Pokemon. Of course, we do have Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is my favourite starter. But Flareon is by far my favourite Pokemon out of all of them. I love Flareon. Look how cute this thing is. So, like, the first thing that I saw when I went in was this stall that did a bunch of anime plushies, and I was like, oh cute, I'll go and have a look, because I was kind of wanting Pochito from Chainsaw Man. I wanted one of, like, the little chainsaw demon. I wanted one of him, but they only had like the really big one, which was really expensive. But I saw Flareon, and you never get any like merch for Flareon because everyone loves the starter Pokemon, like all the starters from all the generations. People love them, and they also love Eevee, and they love the I can't remember what the names of them are. The pink one and the black one, the Umbreon and I can't remember what the pink one's name is. But those two, they love those ones. But no one ever asks for a Flareon one, and there was Flareon merch. There was also this. This was in a lucky bag. How cute is this? It's like a little bean bag with a Bulbasaur. It's so cute. But that was how Comic-Con went for me. So yeah, that was expensive. It was also a very, very long weekend. I had actually taken off the Monday and Tuesday afterwards because on the Friday night I came home from work and I rushed to get like everything ready, had a shower and everything, and then I went down to my sister's. We had dinner, my little brother was there as well, and then we sat and watched, like me and my sister sat and watched Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, and we went to bed at like 11 PM to get up at like, I think my alarm went off at 6 to do makeup and that to leave. And then you don't get home till like 6 PM. And I was going to stream that night. Like my plan had been after Comic-Con, because we left early, Simon Pegg had a panel at 4:45, but my sister was working that night, so we left it like earlier. I'm really sad that I missed Simon Pegg's panel because I really like him. Yeah, so we had been wandering around all day, and then we saw the Red Dwarf panel, and then Simon Pegg was coming on, but it was like, yeah, we're a bit short in time, so we had to leave. But it was like a super long day, and I was so exhausted by the time I got home. So I ended up not streaming that night. But not just that, it was just a long day. And then the Sunday was even longer. Timing wise, it was a bit better because we left, like we got there much later, so we had a bit of more of a lie-in, but not like, I was still up at like 8 on a Sunday. But that day we had the Sabrina the Teenage Witch panel and the Supernatural panel as well. So there was a lot of standing. There was a lot of standing because there was nowhere where you could sit down. And unfortunately, if you've been, on the channel for a while, you will know that back in July, I really messed up my ankle, like really badly. It's still not better yet. It still swells up every time I go for a shower. I still fall over it quite often because it's really weak. So yeah, it's not stable. But we had to stand for so long, and by the time I got home, my foot was so sore. But I was off the Monday, Tuesday, which I needed. It was like there was no if, buts, or maybes. I was staying in. I was sleeping in those times. So yeah, that was long. It was such a good weekend though, and that's the panel. I saw a bunch of episodes of Sabrina the Teenage Witch when I was growing up, and it was something that I loved when I watched it, but it wasn't like something I would like religiously watch. But a couple of my friends, they did religiously watch it like growing up and have recently watched it again, and we went to that panel for the friends that we were with, but the panel was so good. It was actually such a good panel. They were great to watch. They had such a good chemistry as well. Like you could tell that they had been working together for years and they loved it. So that was such a good panel, and the Supernatural panel was amazing. I mean, how can it not be amazing? Like, I had such a good time at the Supernatural panel. I have watched so much Supernatural. It's one of the series that I go back to quite often. It's like a comfort series, and yes, there's a lot of death and stuff, but it's such a good show. It is really, really good. So I was really happy to see that panel. The Red Dwarf panel was okay. I think it would have been better if we could hear better. The room was very, very echoey, and like from where we were standing, it was really difficult to hear anything, and it was like you would hear like half a joke. And yeah, I think the panel would have been more like amazing because the people up the front, you were like in stitches laughing. I think it would have been much better if you were like close by, because Red Dwarf was something that I watched a lot of when I was a kid. My dad was like, every time we went to my dad's, that was a channel that he always had on, and Red Dwarf was always on. So Comic-Con was amazing. I don't know if I will be going next year. I have been going to almost every Comic-Con since I started going to Comic-Cons. I do feel that, so the Comic-Con like, well, the convention that I used to go to all the time was MCM in Glasgow. However, when COVID kind of was, obviously everything stopped over COVID, but when COVID had, like, when things were starting to open again and conventions were coming back, MCM cancelled their Scotland shows and they've never been back. Now, MCM was very heavily focused on anime, and it had other things that were to do with, you know, like TV and books and that sort of stuff, but it was mostly anime. The Scotland Comic Con, the one that's in Edinburgh that I was at this year and have been going to since COVID, is very heavily focused on movies, TVs, you know, popular cultures and stuff, which is amazing. It's really good, but there's a massive gap in anime. I found 2 years ago when they had like Jamie Markey and Jamie Tatum, Rico Pardo, when they had all them over, there was a little bit more focus on anime. So like there's a huge hole, like a massive gap in the market since MCM went. And I do know that there's another anime convention in Glasgow sometime in, I think, September. Never been. I've never spoke to anyone who has been, but I think I might go to that one next year and check it out. I am obviously planning on going to Japan next year, and it is going to be in the October or November, so I don't know if I will go to the big Comic Con. I also find that if you're with friends and family like I was this year, I feel like you're more inclined or more tempted to buy stuff. For example, one of my friends bought a gift bag that had a Marvel themed bag that had, it was going to be hoodies or t-shirts or whatever it was anyway, and she got like an amazing hoodie and 2 amazing t-shirts. So 2 of my other friends also went and bought it as well because they were like, oh wow, I can get that too. So I think you're more like tempted to buy stuff because you've got other people there that are egging you on. Like if I'm by myself, I'm probably sitting thinking, I'm probably not going to buy that. But if you're with people and you say, oh, that's really cool, they kind of egg you on to buy it. And obviously you don't have to, but in the moment, it's really easy to like get lost in the excitement of being at Comic-Con, especially when you're with people. If you're alone at these things, it's much less tempting to spend that much money. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go next year to this anime convention that's in Glasgow. Maybe. I'll see how things go, but that's what I'm thinking. Go to this one in Glasgow, miss out on the one in Edinburgh, which will be rubbish because it's a really good day with friends and like with my sister as well. My little brother comes too. It is a good day, or a good couple of days, but it's £50 for a ticket and I always spend a lot of money. So yes, that's Comic-Con too. I feel like, I mean, there's not really been all that much more stuff that's been going on with me. It has been more just playing a bunch of games that I really want to play. I've also been playing like chess again. I love chess. I suck at chess. I only started playing it again in the last year. I started playing chess again, and the last time I played chess before that was when I was like 8 or something. But I've always liked chess. I've just never like picked it back up again until recently. So I've been playing more and realising how bad I am. I'm good at the puzzles, I'm just not good at the games. But yeah, so it's been a month of just kind of working hard. I've been doing a lot of editing and I've been putting on a lot of work into the videos that I've been doing recently. My game videos, I love doing game videos. I absolutely love them, but the editing is so long. I have my Pokemon Silver streams, which are about 5 or 6 hours each, and I think there's 8 of them, and I want to condense it down into one video, and that's a lot. So I'm going to have to cut out quite a bit from that. The same with my Darkest Dungeon streams. Some of them were 8 hours long because I was just so lost in the game. It was so much fun. But like the story of the game, there's not a lot in the I don't even know how many hours I've got. I'm not going to double check. In the 41 hours that I've got in that game, the story is not that long. There's a lot of grinding, there's a lot of like dungeons that you go through, and there's a lot of like optional things, there's a lot of deaths. And that is going to be hell to edit. So yeah, there is that, but the satisfaction of getting those videos done is so good. And the speed drawing videos as well, I've kind of, over the summer, I kind of went away from doing art because, I don't know, I kind of lost my motivation for it. I come and go with my motivation for art. When I did my Sugarigato drawing, which is a decent drawing, but I rushed that one to finish because I was trying to put up one speed drawing video a month, which unfortunately they take a long time to draw and they take a long time to edit. And because I'm doing other videos as well, and I'm trying to obviously also have a social life, but I'm also being sick, I've also had difficulties with the PC, trying to get these done is really hard. And also keep up the motivation for doing the drawings and stuff, because as I said, they take a long time. The one that I'm currently working on just now has been such a long one. So far for the speedrun that I'm doing just now, it's about 20 hours that I've been working on this. There have been some of those times where I have been streaming, so like it's a bit slower in the actual drawing process, but I'm not even finished it yet. I still have quite a bit to do on it, and editing that down is tough. I think I've edited like 10 hours so far, so I'm trying to edit it as I'm going along, so it's a wee bit easier to edit in the end. So I'm not like rushing to get that one out. But I was hoping to get that one out yesterday. Didn't happen. But it's just such a long process. And with Sugurageto, it was getting to a point where I want to post him next week, and I hadn't finished it yet. So I had to rush it finished to rush to get the speed drawing done. The same with the Grave Robber. I rushed from Darkest Dungeon. If you've not seen the video, please go check it out because I'm really proud of that one. But even though I'm super proud of the drawing, I rushed to finish it, and then I had to like super quick get the video edited, and it was a long slog. And honestly, it's hard to get those types of videos done, the ones that take so long to edit, because I also work full time. But I love having videos out. I love having a video out per week. I think that having a vlog every month, having a game video every month, I'm trying to get anime videos every month, and just having like one of each of these videos, because it kind of pleases every part of my soul. It pleases my art soul, it pleases my game soul, it pleases my just like sitting down and chatting about shit soul, and hopefully it pleases people as well. To just whatever I'm doing, like there's some people who will just watch any of my videos, which is amazing, and I love that so much. There's people that only are here for like the speedrun videos. There's people here that are only here for the Fear and Hunger videos. Like I have so much that I want to do and so little time. But yeah, I've been working hard, and I'll be speaking a little bit more in my vlog that's going to be coming out in December. That will be coming out like probably the last week in December, just talking about this entire year, because I'm a year of streaming and like focusing on streaming and YouTube. On the 23rd of December is my 1 year of like focusing on it. I mean, I've been on Twitch before I kind of disappeared underground, and I've been on YouTube for years. I had my little hiatus. This year I've been focusing so hard on it, and it's really amazing to see that it is growing, that people are enjoying the videos, that people are wanting to come and hang out in the Twitch streams and stuff. It's amazing. It really makes me happy, because I just love speaking to new people. I love making content for people. I love sitting down and talking about like anime shows I absolutely adore. It's just something that I love. Also on the anime, I've not actually watched that much anime because I've been doing a lot of editing and a lot of drawing. It's hard to focus on a new show, and a lot of times at like lunchtime at work, I'm so tired that I've just not been watching something new. I've been watching like streams, like past streams and stuff of people, because it's easy watching. It's something you don't really have to focus all that much on. Whereas if you're sitting down to watch a new show that you've not seen, I feel like you have to concentrate a little bit more on that, because you need to get into the show. I think once you're into a show, it's a wee bit easier to like have it on the background, but getting into something is quite tricky. Anyway, I am going to stop this video here because I have been sitting for ages. It's currently 25 past midnight as well, because I recorded this straight after a stream. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, please remember to hit the like button below and subscribe for more. I do hope to see you around for the next one. I post every single Friday, so please come and hang out. I also stream every Wednesday and Saturday. My Wednesday streams are my art streams, and on Saturday is my game streams. So come and check that out if you fancy that as well. But wherever it is and whatever day it is, I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!